What's going on, TW fans? Thomas here, and welcome to this addition to our how-to series aimed at making us more knowledgeable anglers both on and off the water. I'm real excited about today's video, partially because it's a cool technique for sure, but also because it's actually a suggestion from viewers just like yourself from one of our old previous how-to videos. So as you're watching along with this one, make sure to let us know if there's any tips, tricks you want to see, complicated knots, whatever it is. Drop us a comment, maybe we'll be featuring your suggestion in our very next video. So today we're going to show you how to rig a tube stupid style. Now tubes, as we all know, are highly effective bait. They've been taking fish on rides over boats' rails since the 70s. Smallmouth, largemouth, any predator in between, it's an effective bait. But what not all anglers know is how to effectively rig these things. So we're gonna show you that stupid style of rigging a bait. Now, despite what the name may imply, it's actually a highly intelligent way to rig your tube weedlessly. So whether you're fishing under docks, under boats, in some snaggy riprap, whatever the case may be, targeting those hard to reach fish, the stupid style is the way to do it. Now it's a pretty simple rig. You only need two things. So the first thing you're gonna need, of course, is your tube bait. There's a variety of tubes out there to choose from, so just pick your favorite one from 3 to 5 inches or anywhere in between. You can use a standard tube like this one here from Secret Lures. Maybe you're dealing with some dark stained water, you want a pop of color at the tail, you can use the Firetail series from Dry Creek. Maybe you want something with a ton of flash, you can go with something from Big Bite Baits here. It's got just a ton of silver flake in this thing. Or maybe you want to get away from that traditional tube style entirely. Go with something from like Savage Gear. We have our Goby style tube bait here that's gonna imitate a different kind of forage entirely. Or maybe you want to copy a craw. You can go with the Chomper's craw tube. So you see we got a couple pinslers, erupting from the side of the body here. So there's just a ton of different options to choose from. Make sure to experiment to find what works the best for you. For the jig heads in particular, there is a couple of key features that you need. First, you're gonna need something with an EWG style hook. That's really suggested. You can go with something with this standard EWG if you wanna get a little bit more aggressive. We have one here from 4x4 with a little bit wider gap even if you're using some bulkier tubes. Or maybe you want an acoustic layer. Again, maybe you're dealing with that dirty stained water. Bite Me Tackle has these rattling tube jigs and it still has that EWG style hook. So there's a bunch out there to choose from, but it is suggested you use something with an EWG style. Now what's required for this one? You're gonna want something with a 60-degree bend heading into that line tie. So as you can see on this one here, it has that 60-degree bend. What that's gonna do is keep your tube oriented as it's falling through the water properly, keeping it in that upright position. That one's a vertical line tie. If you wanna switch over to a flat or a horizontal line tie, absolutely fine as well. Just needs to have that 60-degree bend. So that's it. You need your tube bait and you need your jig head. Now let's jump right in with step number 1 for rigging this thing. So to start off, you're just gonna take your tube jig in one hand and your tube in the other. So you're gonna see here, we can insert the hook point into the base of the tube, just where that natural part in the tentacles are. Now it is important here, you're gonna wanna lubricate the jig head. Of course you can use saliva, or if you prefer, you can use your favorite scent, whether it's gel, liquid, whatever you want. That's just gonna help this thing slide through the tube easier without causing any damage to the walls of the tube. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and start threading on our tube onto the hook shank, and you're gonna wanna come out, pierce the body about 1/4 to 1/2 inch from the head. You do not wanna come out of the nose of the bait. It's gonna put your line tie in the wrong spot. It won't fall correctly. So we'll come out 1/4, 1/2 inch, a little closer to 1/2 inch on this one. And there you go. All right, so next we wanna finish threading the entire jig through the body of the tube. So we're gonna bring it on through till we get all the way to the jig head itself, the molded lead. Now you can see it's kind of coming out at a weird angle. We don't want that, of course. So now we're gonna go ahead and rotate the body and jig hook 180 degrees, get it oriented in the correct spot. All right, there we go. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and Texas rig this thing. So you can see where the shank kind of meets the body. That's how we're gonna know where to pierce the bottom wall. And we're gonna head through both walls of the body of the tube, just like that. All right, so now we got it Texas rigged here, but we're not done yet. We still gotta expose our line tie. So I can visually see where that line tie is. If you're unable to do so, just kind of run your finger over it and you'll be able to feel it. So you'll go ahead and you'll take your thumbs on either side of the line tie and apply a little pressure, and we're gonna send that eye right through the plastic. There you go. Now we got a place to actually attach this to our setup, our rod, reel, and line. Now some anglers, especially if you're using a really soft bodied tube or something that's loaded with salt, it's helpful to ahead of time, cut a little slit with the blade, or maybe use your snips just to pierce the plastic, just to, help prevent any accidental damage. So you can see it's already pretty weedless right here, but let's go ahead and take it a step further. We're gonna Texpose this hook. just by skin hooking into the top wall of the plastic. So you just pinch it, slide it over, just the tip of the hook, and there you go. I mean, that is streamlined, totally weedless. So again, whether you're targeting those hard to reach bass under docks, under boats, under overhanging structure, anything like that, those hard to reach places, this is the way you're gonna wanna do it. So it's just a really nice, streamlined, weedless approach, the stupid tube rig. All right, that's gonna wrap up this episode of how to set up the stupid tube rig. If you guys learned something today, make sure to give us that thumbs up. And don't forget, we wanna hear from you guys. As I kinda mentioned at the beginning of this video, there's a ton of ways to rig these things, whether it's Texas rig, whether you want a Tokyo rig this thing, whether you wanna use a standard jig hook with an exposed hook. There's a ton of different ways. So maybe that's what you wanna see next, or something totally different. Drop us a comment and let us know what you wanna see. We're all here to learn. All right, guys, if you want to see more videos just like this one, make sure to head to the Learning Center on tacklewarehouse.com. Until next time.